My name is Rochelle Crump, and I am president of the National Women Veterans United. And welcome to the Veterans Issues on CAN TV. We'd like for you to call in tonight. Don't leave us hanging. Make that call to the hotline 312-738-1060. We'd like to hear from you, our audience, tonight as we continue to talk about veterans issues. Yesterday, we had a great group here, the American Legion, the Harold Washington 1987 Post, and they were just really gracious to me as a visitor on their time. And so I do want to give a shout out to them. We also want to give a shout out to any other veterans organizations and or veterans and service members who may be watching this show this evening. We salute you and we thank you for your service. Tonight we're going to talk again about women veterans issues. And I want to just say that on behalf of the National Women Veterans United, we are proud women veterans, and one of the questions that came up yesterday, and which kind of aggravated me, and I was able to overcome that aggravation because it was a legitimate question. And that question was about why women go into the military and then they want special treatment. And what I had to do was to clarify we don't want special treatment. We want to be treated equally with dignity and respect. And so, with that being said, I want to say to all of those women veterans who have served in the military and or who are still serving, we have your back. And so, with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit about the National Women Veterans United. Our organization is comprising of women who served in all areas of war, in every branch of the service. They were officers, they were enlisted. And in the civilian capacities, they have successfully done marvelous and great things in the community as the first in some instances, and then also in professional positions that basically were equal to their being commandants in the military as well as commanders over some of the units. And so we want to say thank you again for your service. And tonight I'm going to show just a piece about women veterans. And instead of saying we matter, that's what I'd like to say. We matter. And we matter because of lots of reasons. We matter because we've made significant contributions to the armed forces. We matter because we deserve those benefits in which we served for. And we matter because we are women veterans who do things that some men don't do. In fact, there's a lot of things that they don't do. And most of them will admit being the greatest caretakers in the world for our children and or for relatives who may become ill, because as you know, they're outnumbered when it comes to nurses. And we do have to, say thank you to those who serve in the Veterans Affairs hospitals, who take care of our sick and our wounded. So tonight, if you have a shout out for a nurse or for a doctor who basically is taking care of our veterans, we want you to call in and let us know who that person is so we can give them a shout out. So again, our number is 312-738-1060. And I'll give the first shout out to Dr. Patty Davis, who serves as an optometrist at the VA Hines Hospital. We want to thank her for her service and for her commitment to continue in the community to help veterans from an organization that she belongs to. And so we have a lot of partners in the community. And I know some of the things that we want to also talk about is our legislation now. What does that look like for veterans? They talk about privatizing the VA services. But I can say that I did watch the video for Secretary Dave Shulkin, who has been confirmed as the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. His interview basically allowed me to do a lot of, retrospecting about past VA secretaries as well as VA benefits. And I think he is the right person at this time to continue uplifting the VA, removing the stigma, the bad things about the VA. And I thought he did a very well job, a good job in representing that important factor because of so many people who have had bad experiences at the VA and what the media has basically said about the VA, some true, some not true. But I think he did an excellent job in saying that, it's time to stop badgering the VA in so many words. When they do bad, then that's what we're supposed to do. But when they do good, we need to commend them on that. And we commend them because that's what people do when there's been a good job. When you pat somebody on the back and say you did a good job. But we should actually not expect anything worse, anything less than comprehensive service and also, the best care in the world. So we have a caller tonight. Caller, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Great show. I'm a veteran, but you know what? I can't just thank one or two nurses or doctors. I want to thank every one of them who have helped the millions of people who have been in the service all these years, treated them, for all their injuries and stuff. For all of them, I want to say, you know what? All you have a great day, a great life, because you saved plenty of us veterans. And I'd like to also say that I like the Shulkin also, the guy that they just voted in. You know why? Because he's going to do something. Not like the last one, where they find people dying, cheating, and not doing nothing. And nobody is ever fired, disciplined. And it's still going on. Maybe this guy, he sounds good. So I want to thank you, too, for having this great show. And God bless all you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those comments, and I'm sure that that comment will go a long way with other people who are watching here today. So certainly we thank you not only for watching the show, but also for recognizing, those who basically do good things and those who deserve that applause, as we so mentioned earlier. And so we thank you also for what you do because that's important. It's important to say what it is and what it's not. So congratulations to you for making the step to make all of us feel wanted, needed, and valued. And we really appreciate that. And if you know of any women veterans, please tell them about the National Women Veterans United. And I'm actually going to show our information. We opened up the only Women Veterans Center in the state of Illinois, and we are one of few across the nation that basically has a very safe environment in our facility. It's open to those women who serve in all branches of service, obviously, because we are of that nature as well. And also, we have an association for women who are not veterans and or who served. Perhaps they had a family member that served. So we are women veterans just sticking together and basically making sure that women veterans know about their VA benefits and their entitlements, and also that they know about the resources in the community. So thank you again, for watching us. And we're the National Women Veterans United again. And we're basically located at 7907 South Racine. We are in the community, in the heart of the community. Our phone number is 872-731-2150. And they can email us at nwvu.org@gmail.com. And then we want you to go to our website. It's important basically because you get an opportunity because it's not just for women. Everything we put on our website is just not for women. We put events from the community, things that are going on nationally, and that's important, that may impact and or affect veterans one way or the other. So our website is www.nwvu.org. And so I'll just give you just a second to take a look at that again, our audience. and then I want to tell you a little bit more about our organization. And so we matter is what I want to say. We matter because of our advocacy, that we do for other women veterans and the access to resources that we provide for those women. Also, the peer-to-peer support, which is very important. We're seeing that more and more now that women veterans, they come back home and basically they're starting all over again in their community. Sometimes they move to different communities, so they still need that support. They need that support because sometimes they've been deployed, they come home, and then there's no parade. There's no acknowledgement of their service, where they've been all over this world, land, air, and sea, and nobody recognizes the good that they have done protecting this nation. And so the peer-to-peer support is a great avenue where we have like experiences. We all have different experiences, but we have a lot of like experiences as well. And so we get an opportunity to share that with each other. And we deserve comprehensive health care. That's important too. And that's why it's important that we utilize the VA so that basically we also can monitor the services that they have. We have to make sure that they don't privatize the VA. And how do we do that? As they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we encourage those who are eligible to use the VA to use the VA, because as you get older, more things happen to you. And right now, we should be all worried about the economy. And some older, some were successful, some were not as successful. And so the reign of being able to keep your household intact and also purchase your medication and pay your bills really is a threat right now for many. And we've seen that. And that's how people become homeless. And then the VA basically, and that's what the secretary said, he said something very, very important. He said the best thing about the VA is the fact that they don't just take care of your physical needs. Now, it took them a long time to learn that, just from the Vietnam War. It took them a long time, but they are on board now. They know what they're doing, and so we trust now, like he said, that they're dealing with the mental, the social, and those other components that keep us healthy and whole. And so we have to commend what he said, because he was the undersecretary before he got appointed as the secretary, which was great for veterans, because we had someone who was already in the system that knew about, the benefits from every sector, of the healthcare system, which is the largest part of the VA system. And then we look at the benefit side. He has not totally addressed that yet, and we do want to hear about that. And so we also have to keep the pressure on them. And I just want to say, as a minority female veteran, I am concerned about what it looks like. Because when I look at those who represent us nationally from those organizations, American Legion, DAV, VFW, I look at that lineup. I look at those pictures, because they always put in pictures up there, and I like to see those pictures too, because I like to see who they're meeting with. I want to encourage you to call 312-738-1060 if you have a question, a shout out, and or some information that we want to get out to our veterans and their families. Excuse me. But I am concerned about what it looks like. All white males. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being honest, and I'm being cautious of saying that it needs to display some form of diversity, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different communities. We have communities that basically are not dealing with high volumes of violence as minorities are. And so we have to look at that, because that has an impact on those who have post-traumatic stress disorder, those who have military sexual trauma, those who have traumatic brain injury, and those who basically don't feel safe. We have to worry about the re-trauma revitalization of those who have already been traumatized by war. And so when they look at Washington, D.C., and they see that they're only representing that part of Washington, D.C. legislation that does not have anything to do with our communities, we should be concerned. And those of us who belong to those American Legions, DAV, VFWs, who do a great job, I don't want to take that from them. You have to give credit where credit is due. They do a great job. They have money to do Boy and Girl Scout programs, which is excellent. But sometimes they need to do a little bit more research on other communities to see how are we impacted and or participating in those programs. If you are a member of those organizations, then you have to stand up and say what you think is better for your community, because that may not always be the same for them. We have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm a veteran and I'm service connected for PTSD. And in my therapy, I'm trying to get a business
I'm
together.
sorry, can you speak up a little bit? Because I can barely hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a veteran, and I was I was looking at the television maybe about a month ago, and I think it was a city advertisement on that public station, and they were mentioning something about an organization of property owners that were trying to rent out to veterans. And I need a place real bad to operate a business out of, and I'm trying to connect with that kind of organization so that I can get some help because I'm paying rent for storage now, but I need to get someplace where I can that money can go to me actually
Okay,
operating my
so
business.
let me stop you right there. Let me make sure I heard you right. Now, did you say that you needed a place for yourself or for the business?
For myself, I mean for the business, because I got I'm a tailor and designer by trade, and I've been in the business for over 40 years. But because of my PTSD, I've been like more like a home based business. And I got a settlement a few years ago, and I loaned out some money that I was gonna use for my rent, and I've been stuck with that. So I've been paying rent since 2011. And all I want to do is just get someplace where I can operate my business, where it won't be like a waste of my money because I have the skills. I have 40 years of background. I have equipment and everything in the locker, but I need someplace where I can operate out of.
Okay, I'm not gonna to let you continue into, some of it is a little personal and some of it is, I get what you're saying. What I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is I'd like to go again to our phone number,
Hmm.
and then I'd like for you to call that number, and then my number is on that line, is on the recorded message that you're going to get. And basically what it says, if you're media and or you're on a deadline, if you're a student,
Hmm.
then to call this number. It's my personal number. Can you call me on that number?
Sure, I can.
And then basically I can just share with you some ideas that I might have for you, and then we can go from there if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to show that number again if you'll stand by, okay?
Okay,
All right, and then we'll go from there.
okay, sounds good.
Okay, great. And thank you so much for calling in for that too,
And thank
because
you
we
so
want to
much.
make sure that all of our veterans are taken care of.
Okay, and
And certainly for businesses, because the state, the city, and the federal are pushing for small businesses from veterans, from minorities, from females. So you'd be right in the target of looking into those by the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration, who
mhm,
basically has a veterans programs for businesses, and then they have the information for funding. They help you to build up, like if you need help with restoring credit, how to get
yeah,
financing, things of that nature. So there's a lot of things going on now that are geared towards that.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, well, I surely appreciate that, yeah, because and I've been involved with some of it, but things have changed over the years, and then it was certain levels of my PTSD where I wasn't able to take advantage of the programming. So so I appreciate this effort that you're making to assist me.
Okay, well, we'll reassess it and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll just keep watching the program, and then you.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that right now so I don't lose sight of it.
Okay.
Okay? All right then, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the phone number is 872-731-2150. And then once you listen to the message, it'll say if you are media or a student on deadline, call another number. And then that number is the number that you'll reach me at directly, and then I will call you back after this show. Okay? National Women Veterans United, Illinois Community Women Veterans Center. We are the only women veterans center in the state of Illinois, one of few across the nation. We do have a Rockford chapter of National Women Veterans United. So if in fact you know someone who is closer to the Rockford area, then we can link those to our Rockford chapter as well. And then our email address is there also. So if you'd like to email, it's nwvu.org@gmail.com. And please visit our website and visit it often too. Because when you visit the website, basically you're prompting that if a woman is looking for a women veterans organization, and because of the many hits that we get on the website, then as soon as they put in women veterans, then we should come up as an organization. And that's good because then people don't have to search all over looking for a women veterans organization. So nwvu.org@gmail.com. I'm going to say that number again, 872-731-2150. And so again, we want to thank that caller for, what he's experiencing and the help that he needs. And, when you look at CAN TV and you see what the schedules are, finding out when the veteran issues are on, we hope that you will stay tuned to CAN TV and come back on those days to find out what's going on in the community, what other veterans are doing, what other organizations are doing, what special events are happening. We encourage veterans to stay in touch with, these organizations, our organization, so that you can learn what's going on in the community, because we all get information from different places. So I think we're going to have time for one more call, 312-738-1060. You can call us with a shout out, with a question, with a comment, and or some veteran information. And again, we want to thank you, for watching Veterans Issues. But also what we do in our Veterans Center is we're basically trying to get more grants. That's the biggest thing, more donations, more foundation of being able to host other events like art therapy. The VA had an art therapy program, or one is coming up. They also have a program coming up to help you learn how to clear up your credit history and how to rebuild and restructure, bringing it up. So I'm going to be able to pass that information on to that gentleman and also to others. We want to make sure that you know that we're here the third Thursday of every month and at 6:25, so that we can provide some information for you. If you have any questions or comments, or any suggestions or what else you would like to hear about, we'd like to hear that also. So we are the National Women Veterans United. We assist women veterans with peer-to-peer support, with understanding their VA systems to navigate into those benefits, as well as the healthcare system, and also referring them out to those national organizations that mean a lot for veterans to be able to get some assistance with filing claims and things of that nature that helps you. So we want to thank you again for watching. This is CAN TV. I'm Rochelle Crump, President, National Women Veterans United.